Y'all really want to know why it's flooding? Like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? It's so hot that Chinese people are sitting in caves. There are thousands of people dying in Europe right now due to a heat wave. It's flooding and it's hot. When? Thousands of people in Detroit do not have power. Pakistan is flooding due to their glaciers melting. And all this is supposed to be natural causes. Let's not forget that this sneaky snake has bought over 270,000 acres of farmland. I've already told y'all that the planet is alive. The trees, the plants, the water. A lot of y'all are waking up to your surroundings due to the planet raising its vibration. So these are the symptoms of it. There are elemental deities working right now, cleaning up this planet. There are a lot of stories of gods or deities coming down with these elemental powers crafting the earth. Greek, Norse, Yoruba. Y'all asking, where is this water coming from? Y'all remember when I told y'all about the ice wall that's holding in the oceans that we have? And y'all know that Pakistan's glaciers are erupting, causing all of this water from the other side to come in. So tell me that y'all don't think that these elemental deities are not making this happen. Okay, let me try to explain this the best way I can. Maps show you exactly what it wants you to see. I'm trying to figure out what goes further than the map. Just like in Game of Thrones, beyond the wall. Okay, so y'all see this map right here. There's a wall right here, and then there's all of our countries. If y'all don't believe me, there's a man, a naval officer, who showed proof that there are lands way beyond the ice wall. He documented it and went beyond the wall and said that it was 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Seeing a city and aircrafts. He said he even saw mammoths. And also showed that they had markings the type of swastika. Now he was digging his nose in Antarctica too. And he sure got that swastika. Also found in Africa. But I'm gonna say the truth is coming. This is the age of awakening. This is all the walls is being broken down. We're actually gonna see what's been hidden from us in all aspects, everywhere. With the government, with the sky, with these different realms, they're trying to take over our food source, our power, to make us depend on them. Because they want to keep this stuff in control for as long as they can. Y'all didn't have to check the blinds was closed. But y'all stay dangerous. All of this is just a rise of the planet.
You probably think this world is a dream come true. But you're wrong.
Things I wish I would have known when I first started my spiritual journey. People are gonna think that you are crazy as fuck, but that's okay. Crystals, tarot cards, incense, sage, all of those are really helpful tools, but they are just like training wheels. They're only teaching you how to use what's already on the inside of you. The real power is within. The real reason that you are afraid of spirits and ghosts is because you are also afraid and unfamiliar with the true essence of yourself. Mediums, readers, astrologers, etc. are lying if they ever tell you that they can tell you your life purpose. You are the only one who can discover that. It's a part of your journey. Meditation is the best spiritual practice, hands down. No one can heal you. Please run far away from anyone who says that. They can help you, but you have to heal yourself. The ancestors do not need material offerings. You being here, your willfulness and progression in life, that is the offering. If they are asking you for material things, then they are earthbound. They're stuck on the astral realm. Stop giving them things and encourage them to ascend.
PSA, this will save you lots of energy. If you find yourself in an argument or a debate and the other person you're talking to or communicating with is not intending to learn from you and they're intending to prove a point, not to learn, you are wasting your energy. Rewatch this.
Hey, and what's going on? Quick question. Can we start acknowledging that slavery never really existed and begin calling it what it was? Surprise war. 1. You don't castrate slaves. Why? Because they can't make you more slaves. 2, you don't separate slaves from their families because now they have no loyalty to you or any reason to remain working for you. 3, do you know who you do castrate and separate from their families? Prisoners of war. In 1492, Christopher Columbus didn't discover anything. He was doing reconnaissance for Spanish, the Portuguese, and the Roman Catholic Church, specifically Pope Alexander VI. Once Christopher Columbus's reconnaissance was complete, Pope Alexander VI declared the papal bull Inter Caetera, which means among other works. The Inter Caetera, or the papal bull in 1493, gave the Portuguese and the Spanish the right to exterminate the aboriginal peoples of the Americas because they were considered savages because they were not Christian faith. This is the doctrine of discovery. See, it says the papal bull Inter Caetera, or among other works, issued by Pope Alexander VI, we'll get back to him in a second, on May 4th, 1493, played a central role in the Spanish conquest of the New World, not discovery. But watch this. The document supported Spain's strategy to ensure its exclusive rights to the land discovered by Columbus the previous year. First of all, Columbus did not discover America. Cristobal Colon is a Cullen who is one of the 1%ers of the world. When you realize that Christopher Columbus's real name is not Christopher Columbus, but Cristobal Colon, aka Cristoforo Cullen, that is the point in history when you realize the Cullen family and the Colon family are the same family. On one hand, the Colon family is a prominent family that everything Colombian is named after, even the District of Columbia that owns the land deed to the corporation that is the United States of America. But on the other hand, changing their names as to not be detected throughout history, as is their modus operandi, the Cullen family has now become the Collins bloodline of the 13 families. Each one of these families has a position or purpose inside of their organization. The Cullen family is only called when there is a mass culling necessary. What is a culling, you ask? The reduction of a wild animal or barbarous nation population by selective slaughter. Selective slaughter. So knowing this, why would Pope Alexander VI, the Pope, the holy man of the world, why would he enlist such a sadistic bloodline? Who is Pope Alexander VI? Pope Alexander VI, aka Rodrigo de Borgia, of the Borgia bloodline. Why does that sound familiar? It's not like they changed the face of all history or anything. Where have I heard that name before? Doesn't he have a son named Cesar? Pope Alexander VI is the father of white Jesus. Lord.
There's a group of people that say that dragons were real, and I'll explain.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people. Check out this clip real quick.
So around the same time period in, China, South America, Africa, all these different, Rome, all these places, images depicted people fighting dragons, right? And every dragon was slightly different, but it was all a giant scaly animal that could fly. So when you break that down, you think about the fact that large birds had a hard time being fossilized because their bones are so porous, right? So because they have like hollowish bones, they break down very easily and they don't fossilize. So the group that says this, basically they're saying the evidence is the reason there's no fossils of dragons is because they had bird bones and they were actually very delicate animals. But a handful of these a small population of these giant flying lizards existed and basically encompassed all these different countries where they all depicted fighting dragons in their own way, and they were all killed off by knights or whatever it is, and then didn't fossilize.
What are your thoughts? I'm starting to think that there might be a little bit more truth to all the fairy tales that we were told than we may have first suspected.
This is how you should begin prepared. Know that all change is not bad change. This change will right the wrongs done unto the people by the government. America has just reached its Pluto return. So karma finna tear that ass up. People beginning to grow their own foods will only be better for us. We won't have to rely on the government and big grocery stores because it's going to be a community thing. Teachers quitting their job is most likely going to be a computerized system teaching the kids, which will then lead to people homeschooling. And that's how the kids will actually be taught the things they need to know. Cashiers probably won't have their jobs anymore. And if you see already, self-checkout is beginning to take over. Your bank account, I would keep cash on hand and have some in my bank account also. Because in some states, they are beginning to freeze bank accounts. Start getting familiar with this earth. Learn your streets without GPS. Don't rely on the government. Get in tune with technology and you're gonna be fine.
I know y'all seen my previous video about all the aircrafts in the sky that no one can see. And I know y'all seen the comments. And we figured out that this is not just happening right here on the East Coast. It's happening all around the world. You remember me telling y'all about how the way we live in a multi-dimensional world, right? And about the Elohim with the war in heaven? What do y'all think we're really hearing right now? Just think about it.
Nothing is where you think it is.
A huge dust storm from the Sahara. How did the dust from the Sahara reach the Caribbean so quick? That means Africa is closer than they tell you. Question everything. Everything is a blasted lie. I had an auntie that worked for the airline, Air Jamaica to be specific, for many years. And right before she retired, the pilot told her, direct flight to Africa is only 3.5 hours from Barbados. So why we have forgot Europe, forgot Africa? Those blasted witches. Why they send us to Italy and London and Europe? Forgot we over here so, forgot Africa so. You have a question on that? Yes, my beloveds. 3.5 hour flight. That's what the pilots told us. Directly from Barbados.
Saying the map is wrong?
Oh dear, yes. Look at Greenland.
Okay.
Now look at Africa.
Okay.
The two land masses appear to be roughly the same size.
Yes.
Would it blow your mind if I told you that Africa is in reality 14 times larger?
Yes.
Here we have Europe, drawn considerably larger than South America. When it's 6.9 million square miles, South America is almost double the size of Europe's 3.8 million.
Alaska appears 3 times as large as Mexico, when Mexico is larger by 0.1 million square miles.
Germany appears in the middle of the map when it's in the northernmost quarter of the Earth.
Wait. Relative size is one thing, but you're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is?
Nothing's where you think it is.
Where is it?
I'm glad you asked.
It's only 3.5 hour direct flight from Barbados. Is it something they don't want us to see over the sea? I currently see they are making money, currency, off of our ignorancy. So get with it. Question everything. This is the time of revelation. You know, see what I go on. That's where everything you learn and start relearn.
That looked like this before. How many of you have ever seen this map?
Seen that map?
Yeah. Isn't this the map that you use K through 16 in the United States of America? Now, folks, look at this map. According to your social studies teacher, what is the equator?
Right.
An imaginary line where?
Yeah.
Around the center of the Earth. Then if this map is correct, then the equator must be here, and Chicago has a tropical climate. Now, folks, this is the map that we use in the schools. Look where the United States is, in the middle of the world, right? Now, here's the USSR, which is no more, of course, Mongolia, China, Africa, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Now look over here. USSR, Mongolia, China, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Two Indias here. We have 2 Indias. Did you know that? Now, people, this is a flat-out lie. Look at the size of Greenland and the size of South America. According to your social studies teachers, what were continents? Largest land masses on the face of the earth, right? Now, do you know the continents?
My top 5 spiritual awakening movies of all time.
At the moment that I started to talk about the Kabbalion, TikTok stopped pushing my content and I keep getting shadow banned, but we're gonna keep going anyway. So today we're going to talk about the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. So in the Kabbalion, this principle basically talks about how everything in your external reality is a reflection of your internal world. This is why so many people say, as cliche as this sounds by now, is that if you want to change your external reality, you have to go within. You have to change your inner state of being. And by inner state of being, we're talking mental, emotional, and spiritual. This is the reason why inner work is needed if you're trying to change your life. As you begin to do the inner work, reality has no choice but to start shifting around to reflect your inner state, because it is law. As above, so below. As within, so without. Have you ever noticed that nature is mimicking our anatomy, and how the same pattern is playing out over and over again throughout life? The macrocosm is a reflection of the microcosm. Take a look at the death of a star and the birth of a cell. The helix nebula and then the human eye. The universe and then the brain cells. The formation of the universe, neurons under a microscope. They look very similar. The Milky Way and then Hurricane Katrina from space.